But this is Jesse's point of view, so he's on point. He's medium bruiser. Jesse's is a very good player objectively, but we like to make fun of him a lot. He plays like every role to a very high level. He's playing bruiser there now. So see how this goes. Does he have better quality in 720? Nope, he's got 720. You get 720p. SMH.
Okay.
Let's go team.
He also might be shot calling. I'm not 100%.
Straight off the fucking bat. Where's my hasters? Let's go.
Alright, hopping into it.
Let's go.
You could already see like they're super split. Like NA, you would never have like this far of a split. You'd have people like really compact like in certain spots. Like NA right now, there's like a small group on point, and then a lot of people go wide on defenses, and they're like really split. That's kind of interesting.
Defending A, by the way, guys.
I think it makes sense though, because you use lots more greatswords than NA usually, so that's why you would want to play split. Because if you have the Wrath, you usually win with the greatsword.
Okay, I'm gonna attack the point a little bit now. Let's look bottom point here together, guys.
I feel like if they have two SNSs, nothing at point ever dies, right?
Just sneak, okay? Bottom right. They're bombing us now too. Yeah, I'm getting out first.
Jesse's is getting good value though.
Good job.
Like, he's not killing anyone, but he's not expecting to kill anyone until detonate. That's why I'm not pausing. I'm kind of waiting for detonate. He's very high APM as a player, but kind of knew that.
I'm grabbing a sec here.
They've like kind of lost right control, but they have their back line and they're gonna have left.
Let's bomb left side. Outside point, guys.
They
Outside
probably
point.
need to
Bomb
crash
left.
left.
Grabbing
Calls it.
Shocking. I'm detonating too, so bottom right.
This detonate's late, but I think he built it during it, so it kind of makes sense.
Mika, 1 HP, top. Nice.
He secures a kill, it's perfect.
Good job.
It's like they're playing like it's kind of weird. There's like three fronts. There's like a point front, and then there's like a edge front, and then there's like a greatsword front, and they're all kind of interdependent, and they're not like on the same axis at all. Like supple plays for these two. Dropouts plays for, I'll put dropouts in yellow. Dropouts plays for these two areas right now, and then dropouts wraps. They're kind of doing everything, but they're just kind of less stacked.
I'm hitting bottom
in
point.
general.
I'm just talking bottom point. An ape, bottom right.
Which Para's on defense, I assume
look,
Para
left
was
side.
here. Or not Para's
Bottom
on
point as
defense.
well, guys. Look bottom right.
What do you call it?
Waiting for
Rico's on
grab in a
defense, I
second.
assume
Bottom.
The use of Siege is really present already. I've said this before, and I think EU healers are just better than NA healers in general. But they have tech, and then they don't die. Like I looked at the EU deaths per 10 when it came to NA, when their army was getting farmed, and they had like less deaths per person that was killed than the NA people had. Like EU healers like objectively just die less. I don't know, and they transferred their comp, so their heal comp on
just
points
get
like
sacreds
NA
and shit
with
on point,
AoE,
guys.
so I don't think
Spread
they
that
have
bit of
those
point.
advantages. This is really interesting about the two SNS thing too. You could do a split, and you could have an SNS on A and on B, which inherently puts you on advantage on those points. Like that's something that you could see in NA very easily. I think if they're better people at SNS, you could do like a stack on, say, C and B if you wanted a strong C side push and a delayed B push. Like that's something where you just instantly win the C gate because you have an SNS, because SNS just gives you an incredible fortify advantage. That being said, like when I'm looking at this point clump fight, it's like super split in general. Well, I'll let it play out first.
Oh, safe.
But it's been super split. There hasn't been like people on top of each other. Usually with SNSs, you want people on top of each other in a tight spot. And that's when the
top point for now, just a little bit.
If you have the SNS, they don't have the SNS, you auto win. So like here, they're defaulting to playing split, which is very safe. You won't die, but then if you play split, you also don't get kills generally. Like you need to dog people on point. That's how you get kills. You need to have 5 people hitting one person. And that styles defeat unless you're on top of an SNS. I think they just need to be on top of their SNS. Which this is much better. Like you have this happen, and you have their SNS like actually shield them. I think this is their SNS, or their SNS might have died. Yeah, that's their SNS. So I mean, oh my god, of course it's bopped. Oh, I'm gonna get memed again. Bop never shields clumps ever. He always is on IG or he's dodging away, and this happens every time I watch a Para. And every time I watch Bob, I can't watch it for more than 5 minutes because it's the same issue every single war and he doesn't change.
Grabbing now, bottom right.
Like if you're SNS, your entire job is to shield when the clump fight happens. If you're not going to shield, you might as well just not slot the SNS.
Just fight aggressive here, guys. They want to rotate.
It's not the entire problem, but they did have like 3 to 5 people die here, and they didn't get the point wipe. And I can guarantee you, those 3 to 5 people died because Bop wasn't holding shield.
Let's look bottom right here. Look at me.
Yeah, you know.
Thank you. Camille, bottom left, 1 HP.
You could hear his actual individual keys.
Look, left side, look, left side.
Other
Grab him,
SNSs
grab him,
on the side point too,
It's
so they
big.
did double side point on A. That's kind of interesting. I would think that you'd want to split the
I think we rotate back here
SNSs up,
towards B.
but I mean, Jesiz I think is in like a fine spot where he's
Let's-
playing, but
let's
he
look for
doesn't have
collapse,
bruises
okay?
that
I've
he's
done it.
playing with. So at this point, he's not like really a point team. He's just kind of like existing for his grabs, and he's not actually like generating value. Like there is such a big difference between like Numb and Ace versus like something like this from a point comp perspective. Like Numb and Ace, like there's always like a 2 to 3 man, sometimes even like 5 man like grab like dog thing, and you just don't see that here at all. Like their point team is super split. They're not dogging
Look
people.
right side, guys, together here, okay? Look right side.
If you don't dog people, people don't die
Detonating
in
now,
point.
right
'Cause
side.
no one does
Look at me,
like,
right side.
damage. Like this, like people will die here.
Nice.
Probably.
Getting out. Still in trouble.
And then the don't die aspect,
I'm
what they're
fine.
calling like don't die, like that's the
Look top, look
SNS's
top, look top,
job.
look
It's
top,
not
top,
the
look top,
not the
look top.
melee's job. Like the melee will live if the
Center, rather.
SNS is there, and the SNS
Okay,
will
that's
pop
good,
the
that's good
melee.
pressure.
I need one.
But from what I've seen, their SNSs are
Left side,
not
guys.
really in the
Bottom
fight.
I'm on me.
Like compare like it's gonna be an entire war about SNSs, isn't it? But they're you can't see him. Let me try to find a frame where you
bottom
can
right.
see him. It's 720p, so it's like kind of hard. There is an SNS right here, and this is like the clump fight. I don't see Para's SNS anywhere. And that inherently is just going to put Mango at a big advantage and
I'm a
allow
little bit in
Mango to
trouble.
dog
Bottom
Para
right.
without any
I'm getting out.
consequence.
I'm fine.
And if you're like worried about dying in SNS, then that's where you just go IG. And,
Keep
but
looking
you
at these people,
need to
guys.
be
On the right
committing
side.
to
Shark
those
now,
clump
shark.
fights,
Big, big,
otherwise
big,
you may as well not
Right,
win it.
chop.
Like now their SNS there. This is perfect. This is where Bop needs to be shielding, except Bop is not
Nice
shielding
try,
again.
look
He's in
bottom,
IG.
look bottom,
That's
bottom,
okay.
bottom.
Like at least he's in the
Grab
right
him,
spot this
grab
time.
Grab him.
This
It's
is
big, it's
nuts.
big. That's good pressure, that's good pressure.
He doesn't have a stun,
Okay.
but like the idea there is good. He's also grabbing on top of the SNS though, which is kind of bad. But I feel like from an EU perspective, if they have 2 SNSs, there's no way you're not grabbing on top of the SNS. Like if you grab anywhere on point, you're gonna grab an SNS because they have a front one, they have a back one. We did this at one point. We stopped doing it because it felt like we couldn't kill anything on point, and the SNSs are very heal intensive. So if you put too much pressure on the SNSs, they could still die. Also, you could just ignore them and go side at that point, which is something that I would think that people would try to do. But
Start looking a little bit towards bottom point, guys. Our army is pushing up here. Look bottom point here. They're bombing us a little bit now on Ellie. Look LA, left side, yes.
like
Super low.
the idea of 2 SNSs,
he's
I
out,
think
he's
is strong. though.
They're all
Yeah,
You
they're
have a
all
passive
bombing,
one,
all
you
bombing,
kind of
guys.
have an
Careful.
aggro one, they
Look
all
right side,
have
look
spots
bottom right.
to
No. Bottom right.
This kind of determines if they win
Don't
the
need
fight.
Jesiz? Yeah.
Nice heal.
So this is good. First thing I noticed, there's no shower behind here. Second thing I noticed, there's no scream here. So IGVGs are off of sync. The other thing too is this is why I run SNS IG a lot, is because you play up in these clumps, you could just drop the shower and then you could shield because you're already up in these clumps and you don't have a consequence really. So then people can't dodge out of detonate because they're just stuck in a certain spot and then they can get blown up. Main thing I see SNS players is main thing I see SNS players not understand is map awareness and positioning. Yeah, I mean, I expect them to not be as good at SNS too from an EU perspective because they've played SNS for like
Knocking him
2
down.
to 3 weeks, maybe a month tops. And NA's been playing it for like 4 to 6 months, so I expect there to be like a giant gap. But they're not. The
Bottom point,
SNSs aren't really in the
Little bit more
clumps,
than
and they're
a
not
little bit. I'm
shielding
getting
in
out.
clumps.
Yeah.
Which that's
They're
the
bombing you
entire
as well.
point of SNS.
Look bottom, guys.
On the next patch, you probably could play like this. Like you could shield right here next patch, and you could hit like everyone on the point. But this patch, if you shield like here, you're gonna hit like no one. So it's like you have to really be in there.
I need one.
I'm looking for grab. I'm re-grabbing it. I'm re-grabbing now. No.
Which is scary, but if you run a good split, like you run 20 Arcana, and then you have
right side
a
is big.
shield, you're not
Getting
gonna
out of
die.
that. I'm trying to get out.
Respawns now.
Oh shit.
1 second for my heal.
Like I feel like he's so scared, but if he has an
Look top
SNS
point.
there, there's no way he
That's
dies.
talking me on left side
This
here.
is fine. Like from a bruiser perspective, like he's playing fine. It's just there's not help from other bruisers, so
I'm getting
nothing's gonna
focused a
die.
little bit. Top point.
Like if this is
I'm
Numb
fine,
and
I'm fine.
Ace, like Numb and Ace, if you ever play with them, like 10 to 15 seconds before they detonate, they'll be checking each other's detonates. They'll be checking so they have 3 detonates. They'll go for detonates. They'll layer them, and then they'll go for like stuns on top of the other one so that you can't actually dodge out of it. And there's screams and there's showers when they push up. So it's like that's like a 3 to 5 piece combo that is executed to wipe a point team that I don't see here at all.
Okay, guys, take on point. Okay, everyone on point. Take
And
care.
you could still kill people through SNS too, by the way. If you drop a Oblivion on an SNS, it gets rid of the shield until the SNS puts down their shield and puts back up their shield. So that's a way to basically kill through.
Okay,
with
now
the
get ready.
detonate
Bottom,
through
bottom,
the
bottom. Look
SNS.
bottom. No.
It's completely on the IGVG to make that play though, and I don't see IGVGs really making plays here, and I don't
Keep
really
on
see
UK, guys.
SNSs in
They're
comps.
bombing us too. Okay.
Commit.
I'm out.
Get kills here. Nice kills, boys.
Nice.
That's
Like,
it.
if that's an NA player, to be honest, the NA player is probably going for Shockwave right there and trusting the SNSs, but I would understand having bad habits based off of, like, the probably hour and a half of footage I've watched from playing bot playing SNS historically. Like, I would not
Dilling,
want to trust
bottom
that shield.
Healing again.
Ape as well, top left.
But if you
One,
can trust that shield, you could definitely go for a Shockwave there, counter the whole detonate push, and then they're grouped in with you, and you can probably kill them after.
Ape.
They still get the
Bottom
kills,
right.
though. This is really, really good.
I'm looking
Like,
for grab on
Jesiz
bottom left.
isn't dying,
Grabbing it now,
I'd
grabbing now,
say,
grabbing now.
but he
Left
does-
side, left
he's
side,
not
left
like
side.
The dog I see some people have. I think that's just a trust issue with the point team as a whole.
Look at Planner, look, nice kills, boys. Step, we need to get
Look bottom point still, guys. Nice.
Look outside of point for big cities. Who spawned in 20?
Giant fight happening bot point. Para actually has their SNS
Yeah, I see
there.
it.
This bot point clump should
I'm
die.
detonating. Bottom left.
It's another case where people are getting out for free though, because there's no shower behind them, because the IGVG isn't dropping shower. Like as an IGVG too, you always want to be on the left side of the clump, because then you can drop the shower across the clump, because the way shower works is you swing from left to right. So you want to see IGVG like on this side. This might be an IGVG, but they're not looking to shower people and they're dropping out of the detonate. So if you like detonate and then and people are in this clump, naturally if you're like red, you're gonna like want to back off because if the blue team is like using detonate here. So if blue team drops shower here, red can't back off, uses dodges, probably stams themselves because you have to use 2 dodges usually to get through an ice shower, and then they get hit by the detonate, or they try to dodge the detonate in a gray bar and then they just die. He's detonating off cooldown? Yeah, he totally is. He's not comboing with his melee, but at the same time I don't hear melee comboing at all.
Nice kills, boys. Step
Grabbing, top point.
Push up.
Luke Dilling and Ape.
DPS swing upwards. Their
They're
DPS
knocked down.
falling
You
down.
need
They're
to
super
have
low
like
as
a
well, no
really
stamp.
clean point wipe
Striking him
in
now.
order
Ape
to
no
like
stamp, bottom
win.
left.
Like this is perfect. This is perfect.
Top
Like one strategy that NA does a lot is you dog the other team SNSs. Like Lengod's in the chat, like he knows. Like we like 5 to 10 man
That's one
pile on him all the time. You could easily secure that kill if you just go after an SNS and target them, especially if they don't have an IG. But you have to have like the dog in you, like dog.
We grabbing
meaning,
in second?
dog
Look bottom
pile,
right, look bottom right, grabbing now.
like everyone needs to be on the same target. You have to trust that your SNS is going to shoot. You gotta trust that their SNS is going to have their shield
Top right,
broken,
striking top right now.
die. And then while that's happening, you need to pressure the
Nice,
healers.
skin.
They have like every
Yeah, yeah.
condition except for
Nice,
the dog aspect. Like their healers are pressured right now. If you look at the back line, like there's blue people in this back line. Those healers are pressured. All they need to do is zerg one target at a time. Call that one target, kill that one target, and this entire point.
Okay, Luke top right still, guys.
Follow up on that call. Follow up on that call. I made 10 seconds.
Luke top right still.
Fucking advance.
Detonating now.
Nice. That's it. That's it. Fucking good shit. Now keep
I'm grabbing top right. Grabbing, bottom right.
stepping. Right side. I don't want you role playing. You can step.
Imprint.
This guy's got to get like a better sounding keyboard though.
That's it, boys. That's it.
Nice. We take care.
Keep
Keep
Sounds
dogging,
like it's
dog them. Right side. Mika, right side. Bottom right.
That's
On me.
nice.
Right side. Dog them.
He's calling dog him now, so he knows. They're just I think they know what they're doing. They're just not doing it.
Bergen.
This is dogging. This is perfect. That's what you want to do.
Grabbing top right.
But the piece that's missing again is there's no IGVG here. There's no shower. If you don't have IGVG that could shower because you're running 2 SNSs and you got to run one with IG. I swear right now, IG actually helps you kill more kills on people than VG does. Because the detonate pushes are so big, and all you need to do is trap them in there. So you drop the shower, and people just start dying.
Getting out.
But you have to be able to,
I'm out.
like know when to time the shower so that you don't get stunned out of it, and that's something that is a little harder for an IGVG because you have to like try to
Center
make
top.
space into the clump and then use the shower.
We're still
Because
in the
SNS are naturally in the clump, so it's like just very easy
I'm
to
a little
roll.
bit rendered left side here.
Still got armor breaker on for EU.
Nice.
Okay.
Look at me left side, guys. They're coming in now. They're
I
all
think it's
bombing
bad,
now.
but it's a lot better next patch.
Okay. Look, top right. Top right.
This is good except for their SNSs here. Like they have SNS here, right? So their weak spot is actually like right over here, or it's like way over here. But you need to shower off the other team's SNSs, or let me color that right. SNS here. So you need to go outside of the SNS aura, which is like here or like here. So you either need to go side point here, or you need to go opposite. On the PTR patch, there's no way to counter this. If you have 2 SNSs, that entire point is getting covered. You need to bug the SNS with VG, otherwise you're not going to kill anyone.
And top left as well.
Yeah, but your point team hates me. Yeah, I mean,
And bottom right as well. Bottom right.
you're Lung God. You're infamous. If you want to have an alt account name, you want to get dogged.
Casting.
Nice.
In again.
It's just a
Nice.
name
Nice.
differential.
Look top. Everyone look top.
This should be a free wipe. This should be
Mika.
such a free wipe.
I got the
I still
Camille
don't
as well,
see
top.
IG
Nice.
showers behind him.
Step point a little bit, guys. Dog the people on bottom point.
I'm sort of convinced now that it might not be an SNS problem with EU, but they might just have really bad IGVG/IGVGs aren't supporting the melees at all.
Bottom left, painter.
Like, Scream is good now, but Scream's only good if you hit a guy that's under half HP, because otherwise it's like a half a second stun. If you hit a guy that's under half HP, it's a 1.5 second guaranteed, because the extra duration doesn't get affected by freedom. So that's where VG's really good, but the shower's like a little bit better in a pre-fight, I feel. Like, Orb is
Painter,
like
painter,
good
left side, left
pre-fight. Oblivion's
Painter,
good
nice,
pre-fight.
nice, nice. Now look to right, look right side, look right side. Come in, come in, come, 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 come.
Good as a kind of pre to
Bottom point, bottom point, bottom point.
initiator, typically. It's good for disease, but that's kind of it.
Look right side,
Very
they're
slow.
bombing us, all bombing us.
That is an example of a dog. If they have a SNS IG here, that clump probably lives. If you have any other type of SNS, that clump definitely dies.
Shit.
Jesiz
I'm dead,
and
I'm dead.
Para.
Look top side point, look top side point, look top
That's
side
that's what I mean by dogging. Like, you see it all the time in NA where it's
Keep going,
like a 10-man point Zerg. Like, you see people come from off point onto point too. Time at the same time with a shot caller as an
Nice.
IGL. You'll see 20 detonates happen at the same time. They get layered on top of each other. There's like basically no way to survive that if they have the ice shower behind them.
I'm coming in from
Which,
left
if
side.
you look at Mango, they actually have the ice shower behind these guys when they go for that push. Versus Para has had like 4 or 5 chances to get these wipes, and they
Look on
never
point,
had an
guys, look
ice
on point
shower
here.
behind.
Look on point together. Get ready, get ready.
I cannot feed, I want to do.
Yeah, no problem.
They timed it
look
poorly
bottom right,
with
look
the
bottom right, coming
respawns,
now,
so
coming now.
Para still has a chance, but like that's just
Sword,
like that was a gimme.
Counter.
We still win it here, we still win here.
Nice.
Take it.
Live right side, right side, right side, right side, right side. Celiskin.
Jesiz.
Detonating now, top right.
His target
Top left,
like,
top left.
acquisition
Watch
and
me.
priority is like
Nice, we're
spot
taking
on.
here.
It's kind
Look
of
left side here, guys.
listening
They're coming in.
to a
They're all
degree,
bombing
too.
us.
I'm looking.
In trouble, I'm big fuck trouble.
Hitting you.
But at the same time, he's not really listening to other people. He's kind of calming and doing
I'm
his
fine,
own
I'm fine,
thing.
I'm
Like,
fine.
I never see him looking at his bruiser and trying
I'm
to
grabbing
follow
bottom
up
point
with
now.
this other
It's
bruiser.
big. Trapping, bottom right.
Which is fine, but I think the best bruisers, to be honest, kind of do a combo of both, where you listen and you lead. But it's still like
Akano, bottom
generally
left,
good
bottom right.
gameplay. Like,
Akano.
this would still be like very
Trapping as well, Olikana.
from an NA bruiser perspective. That being said,
Oh,
I swear
shit.
NA bruisers aren't even that good either. Like, this would be like a top
Thank you, thank you.
5.
Stack here, stack here, stack here, guys. Grab me now, grab me now.
Even though it's like
Oh, I
not
died.
ideal, because I think NA bruisers just generally don't stack. At least I know that he's trying to stack,
Get on point, guys.
and he's detonating like at decent
Bomb
times,
here.
but it is like leaning towards on.
I'm gonna look for grab as well. Now, top point, top point, top point.
10 seconds.
Thank you, YZ.
Oh, I died.
This is criminal. This is criminal. This needs to die. This should not. Oh, that needs to die. There needs to be a bio here. There needs to be a firestorm here. You need to see a det push. You need to see an SNS here. You need to see a shower behind. Like, anytime there's 5 people in a clump on point, that needs to die. That's criminal.
Get this legit, we get this. 1, respawn in 3, 2.
And it's like everywhere. Like, this entire point. Like, it's
lost it, we
not-
lost it, we lost
Oh man,
Yeah, we spawn now.
it is kind of like all in territory, but
Look
like
bottom point.
there are more people on the floor than alive.
But you're
So-
actually fucking retarded if you haven't stepped.
Okay, why did they die?
As well. Now, top point. Top point, top point.
I'm trying to find the SNS, because I can
now,
almost
coming now.
guarantee they die because there's not an SNS shield,
Oh, I died.
shield, knowing the rest of like how this war has panned out. So where is Bopt? Let's try to find Bopt. I don't see Bopt. I think Bopt is dead. Yeah, I don't see Bop anywhere on this map. So you have no SNS, they have 2 SNSs, so they're gonna win point fight. It's just that simple.
Everyone on point,
I broke
everyone
my
on point,
phone
everyone
now.
on point. Lights, get on point, lights, get on point. Assassins, get on point. Everyone on point.
Really?
It should
Get on
not be
point,
that
guys.
simple, but the way the SNS works is you effectively have like a 2.5 times effective HP
All healers as
advantage.
well. Get on,
So
get on.
it's like
Yeah,
nearly
like-
impossible to win if their SNS is alive and yours are dead.
I'm coming in from respawn.
Bop was far right.
I'm looking for a big bomb here.
Wait, why is he off point?
Everyone get on point.
Akano, bottom left, bottom right. Akano.
Take a melee.
Okay, the problem is now I'm in a different spot, so right's gonna be.
Trapping as well, Olikana.
That's
Need
it,
to
that's it.
move. Can't kill now.
Oh shit.
So he's like way over here somewhere.
I'm okay, let me know. I'm looking to shoot.
Thank you.
I mean, if he's off point, oh, there he is. What are you doing? Why are you here? There are 2 people here. There's a 5-man clump here. You need to walk over to your giant clump and shield your giant clump. If you're gonna play solo like this, you might as well just be on heavy IGVG. Like, there's no point of sliding the SNS.
Thank you. Stack here, stack here, stack here, guys. Grab me now, grab me now.
Like, there's, oh man. Like, this clump needs to be shielded to a degree, this clump needs to be shielded, this clump needs to be shielded, and then you see, like, Bop, like, over here. That's just confusing.
Oh, I died.
I broke my phone now.
Lights, get on point. Lights, get on point. Assassins, get on point. Everyone on point.
Really?
Everyone
I
on
swear
point.
it's not that hard.
Everyone
Like
get-
the
we'll win this
mindset
fight,
with
we'll win this fight.
SNS
We
is
have
different
one
from any other
number,
role. You don't
Everyone get on
look
point.
All
to
healers as
where
well. Get on,
their
get on.
team
Yeah,
is, you
I
look
like
to where
Get
your
on point.
team
Get
is,
on
and you
point.
go shield
Get
where
on
your
point.
team
Get on
is. If you
point.
go to
Guys,
shield
on
where
point.
their
Right
team
side, get
is,
on
you
point, man.
lose.
Healers,
I'm
get
coming
on
in
point,
from
get on
respawn.
point. It's one tick. It's one tick. Get on
I'm
point,
looking
please.
for a
Get
big
on
bomb
point.
here.
And it's literally that
I'm gonna look for grab as well. Now. Top point, top point, top point.
That being said, it is completely different from every role in the game, so it's like really hard to learn from a beginner, I feel, but I feel like you should have shocked this first.
I'm
I'm
coming
not a
in from
bruiser,
respawn.
but I feel like this is a shock angle. Like it's a
I'm looking
grab
for a big
shock
bomb here.
now. Why is it going for
I'm
grab
gonna look
now?
for grab as well. Now. Top point, top point, top point.
Get on point.
Like, is this not a shock angle? Am I crazy?
Healers, get on point. Medium
I'm
fire,
pretty sure
get
it's a
on point.
shock angle.
Get on point.
Oh, I died.
We get this, legit. We get this. Come on.
I don't play bruiser, but that looked like a shock to me. You had like 10 people stacked on top of each other. You didn't have
lost it, we lost it,
maelstrom
we lost it.
stacks yet,
Yeah, respawn now.
and you had people on your team that were like kind of
bottom
staggered.
point.
But that's kind of nitpicky. But this point is not lost off of you. It's lost off of
Like, you're
SNS.
actually fucking retarded if you haven't set point. Fucking tell you guys in TeamSpeaks, man. The fucking 10 healers in our back and not stepping. Wait the fuck up,
1.5
man.
times because nothing's gonna happen until the next respawn. They just got wiped.
Yeah, going from point.
One step.
It's a reset, yeah?
Yeah, go split. We're gonna just reset a little bit.
So we go
4,
night.
5, and 10 on B, rest are on A.
Oh yeah, let's go to towards A. Let's wrap around on port side.
We're just gonna respawn and head for split right away.
Let's start walking towards A.
2, 4,
The
5.
whole idea with the splitting is you get pressure here, and then you take some of that pressure here, and then you leave a certain amount of people behind, and they don't know which. If you rotate early like this, they meet you there first. You have a longer rotation for respawns, and you don't get any pressure like off on B. It's inherently just losing if you rotate to A early, but you don't have any pressure on B.
Are
You
you
put
with
yourself
the
in a worse
knife?
spot than if you just
pushing into the
circle
bush.
B.
Yeah.
You also have to come from like
I'm gonna push into the bushes.
one
Okay, no.
angle. Like you only have this lane at this point. Like you don't have a wrap, you don't have like a secondary wrap, you only have one angle. So it's just inherently worse to do this than it is to stay B.
Just be careful of yourself.
But at the same time,
try to
if you don't win B after this time, I understand the frustration. You want to
Am I?
change something up. So,
Yeah. Gonna walk towards
but
the
from
back.
a,
Try to
I feel
walk-
like the
wrap
change
left,
something
wrap
up
left,
thing
healers.
is like
You
you
can't
just
really
play
wrap
their
right.
back line,
But be careful of rotations, okay?
and you don't necessarily
Going towards
worry
bottom.
about A, or you do like one of those adjustments.
You don't really need that
like,
much
going
healing, but
to A
just
is
take care of yourself,
losing.
okay?
Or not, maybe not losing, but it's like it's
So
definitely
just
not gonna
focus
help you
on
win.
Nice, nice. Okay, let's look for the people on point, guys. Start dogging a little bit.
We're almost on A here. Make sure to
Start
cut
dogging the
off
people on point. Top right, grabbing
He's
now.
talking about dogging though, so like he
Travis,
knows what he's
okay.
doing. It's just I just don't see
Rotation
it.
is coming now, guys.
Can our DPS do the same?
You don't think it
Come on,
matters
Mika,
in that
to left.
scenario between the shock and the mail? Okay.
Straight into their back lane. Straight
I
into
mean,
their
I
back
trust you. That's an impunity saying that if someone
Wave
watches
coming in left
VOD,
here.
then impunity's
Come on, left here, or left.
Can you resist?
Thank you. Look top, look top.
Or
Look
very
top.
good at
Grabbing
bruiser, I should say.
Look together, you look point together, you look at left side point, left side point, left side point. On A.
Bottom right as well, guys. Bottom right as well. Is big.
Keep it ready.
Good shit.
Mika, Mika. Grabbing Mika. He has no heals. He has no heals. No
I'm not
charge as well.
saying anything,
Nice,
but
Mika,
it's
that's-
just good.
Step hard, step hard, step hard.
Like if you're not gonna dog, you want to be on top of like the IGBG, IGBB. I feel.
Okay, look bottom
But-
point together
but if
here.
you are gonna
Get ready.
dog, you wanna
on
go on
Ellie,
the big
bottom
one.
right. Look on Ape now.
Like, this is not a big enough clump
They're
to
bombing
dog.
us, they're
You're also
bombing us,
fighting
guys.
on top of their SNS. That's not inherently not gonna.
Look bottom point
Look at
together.
SNS
Look
Warhammer.
bottom, look bottom.
Do you guys play mystery heroes in SNS? You have SNS Warhammer, SNS VG, SNS Greatsword.
Looking different. Grabbing.
You got Thanos there collecting the rings or something?
I'm dead.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, waiting hard on
I've seen
B.
Warhammer
Oh,
a
we can't,
little
bottom
bit,
right. Oh, right
but
side.
it's
No, no
just
heals, no heals.
generally
He's dead, he's
troll.
dead.
He's been
We're winning
Jesiz
here,
has
guys.
been
We're winning
carrying.
here,
He's got 2 picks here.
We are waiting hard on B buff.
We're winning BA as well.
Push into respawns already.
Okay, the problem here is he uses detonate. He sees 3 people here. He uses detonate off cooldown. He doesn't say a word, so inherently he just wasted detonate. Also, if you're like 66% tick, like the 66 to like maybe 80% tick, like doesn't really matter because people are gonna do fake tick. They're gonna wrap, and then they're gonna crash the point usually around 80. So usually like around like 50 to like 75. You want to be holding like your cooldowns generally, unless you could secure a kill. But I don't think that was like a securing kill kind of detonate. That was just kind of a greedy one.
I'm logging back in. Push into the fucking respawn. Good shit.
I'm looking for now.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out. Okay, no heals still, guys. Okay, take care.
Okay.
I'm looking for grab bottom left and
They're
Ellie now.
giving B, they are giving B buff.
They're giving B.
They're giving B, guys. Take care on A. Take care on A. Yo, step up
Okay,
forward, step
actually
up forward,
got
guys. Step
me
up
off the
forward.
split.
Get off, get off.
I don't
Go
know
right,
how
go
they
right,
did
go
that,
right.
That's very good.
Like 17.
Don't die, don't die. Yo, don't die on A, guys. Don't die.
Don't die to the rotation.
Almost dead.
I'm
I'm
getting
not
dogged.
gonna try to figure out how to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that 'cause
I'm
not
fine,
deep
I'm
point
fine.
of view.
Come back in.
Shocking bottom right.
They had a free kill over here if you look back at it. Not free.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
This guy right here. Oh, you don't have graph. That's maybe a charge angle, but I'm not bruiser main. Like that
Fine,
guy
fine,
should
fine.
die. Like he should be at least be calmed.
Come back in.
Like I'd be calming like so and so top left 1 HP.
Shotgun bottom right. Just play life here. Play life a little bit, guys.
Whenever you call
Yeah,
play
yeah,
life
yeah.
as a loser,
Yeah,
as a
I'm
bruiser,
getting
you're
away for a
inherently
second.
like gonna die. I've never like seen people call play life with bruisers and then the point team doesn't.
Let's
really
look left side here
it's
together.
cursed.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's a
die.
cursed
I'm
calm.
dead. I have insta aggro.
Like I think
Look left side, look
declump
left side.
is like
I
a
can
better
play
call at
this.
that point.
Got-
Like,
I don't know.
play
I'm
life
grabbing left
means
side.
nothing. Declump like actually like will help you play life better. That was a good stun.
2, 1.
This is good except you can't get kills.
How
So you're trying to dog, but you're out dogged. If you're out dogged, like there's no point of dogging. You should just go healer.
Respawn in 30.
See me
And
guys?
because you try
Yeah,
to
I'm
dog
dead.
when you're out dogged, they're gonna turn on you.
No,
So-
I don't want group 8
Like-
come back in. On the 4, on the 3, 2.
Like right here, there's a point here where it's like you have to count. There's 2 people on your team. There's 1 guy here. They have like 7 people here. Like this fight is lost. You just go healer. Like they have 2 healers standing on point for free. They're not getting touched.
1. Respawns. Now we have really good position.
And the thing is if you go for healers, people don't peel for healers like as well as they peel when they're getting hit. Like it's like the people get blind because of like the UI when you get hit and it puts a little blood marker on the screen or whatever, and then they just turn around for that blood mark and they don't really think about anything.
Respawn in
Like
30.
if you don't hit people, they'll forget you exist. And I'm like joking about that, but
Yeah,
like
I'm dead.
kind of half joking about that. Like I swear it works way too well.
Don't fight on the bonfires, I guess. Try to
That
bust
was definitely a
if
healer
you're,
angle, but
on
it's
A.
kind of minor. It was lost at that point.
Push right side.
Let me back up a
We're gonna
little
have to
bit.
fucking regroup.
This is kind of interesting. If this is egoed or dropouts, I don't know if supple does this. I don't think supple does this. If this is egoed or dropouts, we're wrapping here. If this is supple, I think you're wrapping here. From an EU perspective, I don't know which is better, but usually when you go backline and then you wrap 2-point, that generates more kills than when you play passive and go for your backline first. And then also if you set tempo, you inherently just do better with greatsword comp.
And they're both at top left. Like you should be able to push right side.
Nice. Bottom left.
Guys, push right. We're
We
getting
got some kills. Middle. Bottom right.
Bottom left.
This is the first time I've heard a combinate listen to
I'm
this
fine.
guy.
Look bottom right. Look bottom right.
Bop's actually in the right spot.
Go for grab.
getting hard, dog. Can I get a shot, please? 1 point. A shot, please.
He went for a pull and it was like a good pull, but I swear greatsword pulls are fake half the time. Like it looks like it's good and it doesn't actually do
Bombing.
anything.
All bombing me.
Like just go IG. Like you don't die. You could play in the clump super greedy, and it just feels better.
I'm in 2.
I'm out.
Jesiz.
Yeah, I'm out.
Lungod will probably disagree, but I have my average deaths per
Look
war
bottom
is
right,
2
look bottom
to
left.
3
Check.
for the last
Is it
like
bottom left?
month
It's
and a
fucking
half on IG. And
Okay, guys, I need
for
fucking
VG
you
and
and stay
greatsword,
on
I
point.
think average death for NA is around
Hannah.
7 to
Stop
8.
point.
I've been getting down by
And
7
it
people
doesn't
for the
matter,
past
but
5
it
minutes.
matters.
We need a little bit more help.
It's like a
from
trust the
bottom right.
SNS angle. Like I can play in a clump and I don't have to worry about dying.
Are still top left.
Let's
But
look
that's
together
not
here.
a
Get ready.
critique, that's a bot critique.
Look bottom left.
I just
Outside
can't
point.
help
Look
it
outside
'cause
point. Look
I'm
outside
a
point. Bottom,
player.
bottom road.
30 seconds.
Now.
This is good.
Diddling, maybe. Keep dogging Diddling and Alicana.
You just
Knocking
need to
him down
dog
now.
him when he dies.
Okay.
Okay, I'm getting out of this.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know how he doesn't
Yeah.
die. That's
Look at the
that's
butt plug and
frustrating to watch.
Nice.
Go B.
In your
Not
team,
your
you're
fault,
okay.
but you don't have
Okay,
dog.
regroup,
Very
regroup.
nice secret.
You don't have a dog on your team with you.
Regroup.
Alright.
Towards bonfire.
Ugh, hard to regroup.
Didn't you know this is?
I want groups 8, 10, 1 and 6. Swinging that-
Surprised you got out of here alive, to be honest. But
swing that right
it doesn't
side.
really
We are
matter.
trying to do that.
Yeah, I know. It was messy. It was fucking messy shit. It's fine.
Yeah.
I want you to
Para
swing
and
hard right side.
when they went NA, got the most success when they did
Rudy's
regroup
mouse
stuff.
just died. We need to chill
I
a
don't
bit on
think
top right.
dropouts or supples done. Well, supple did one hard regroup
I'm not joking.
yesterday.
Give us a second.
Dropouts doesn't usually do hard regroups.
Just wait a respawn.
We're,
It's fine.
we're just like
He's
ignore our
back,
backline, go
we're
their
good.
backline.
No fighting on
Ego's the
bonfire
same
like
way,
that.
where
We
you
need to
just try
take
play
space, okay?
backline,
Remember that.
but Ego has not been successful in EU, so I don't know if that strat's good or not.
Don't fucking just fight the first thing in front of you.
But I think
Don't
Ego
go
in
bonfire,
EU is
don't
different
go
from
bonfire.
Ego in
Don't
NA by a
Don't
pretty
go
significant
bonfire,
amount.
That's good. We don't want to go bonfire. Alright, 8, 10, 1 and 6. Start pushing in now. Start swinging wide right side. Guys on bonfire, we're not pushing in yet. We need to get the guys on the right side to push in complete. Alright.
I'm gonna push and take a little bit of space.
So if this is any company in NA, how do you want to explain this? So their defense, right? This is their line. They have a giant line right here, right? You could either match their line, or I'm upset. you could either match their line like horizontally, or you could punch through their line, and then you can kind of wrap. If you punch through and then wrap, you inherently get free kills because you punch through, and then you just get all the space for free. I don't think it makes sense to mirror like a really wide setup like this. I think if they're playing super wide like this, you could split your army in half, but you need to like punch through at a certain spot, and you just need the dog. Like I haven't seen dog in Para at all. Like there is no dogging.
No.
Like they talk about dogging, but there is no dogging.
We're chilling,
It is monkey see, monkey do mentality. Like you need to be on top of people. It's a game sense meta. It's not a mechanic meta. If you have 5 people on one person, that's better than 5 people on different people who are like twice as good at the game right now.
Take it, Jesiz. I have aggro already.
That's just because of
Play
that.
time, play time.
They like changed everything because you press the button and people die.
Thank you.
Bruises, you fucking retards. Why are you playing in our backside? Push up, man.
Okay, at least the shot color's on point. Like, but also like you're zerging from your back line to the front line. I think you just go back line. But
They're bombing us. Turning out.
Take it,
that's also like coming from the perspective
Okay,
of
look,
some
top right, look, top right,
healers
grab it, grab it.
generally are used
no, it's
to
Abe,
getting
we
heavy
can't kill this
kills,
guy.
so if they don't get peeled, they
They can-
generally
Abe,
don't
actually, maybe we
survive
can die.
those because grapple
Abe can die.
skills don't get
Abe is dead there.
So
Nice.
whenever we go back line, it solves all of our problems.
Dog the people on bottom point, guys. Get off the top side. Get off the top side. Dog the people on bottom point.
I'm on trouble.
I'm grabbing the right side.
It's the
Okay,
right
okay.
calm. This is the right spot too. He's listening to IGL now. This is not the right spot. That's not the right spot if you want to be dogging. Nope, you want to be top right.
I'm shocking. Dev side on
He
Berkeley.
still gets
He's
value
detonating.
though.
Yo, look right side. Okay, I'm going for grab in a sec here. I'm trying to get out first.
Like it's kind of what I'm seeing from Jesiz is like it's not like the listening part I would say is like weaker, and then it's not necessarily listening, but you can kind of read people's body language. Like if you see like one guy like running this way in a straight line, he's probably going to go for a guy that he's running towards in a straight line, and like you can kind of read where your melee are going and help your melee to a certain degree. Like you can't always be the alpha, or you just inherently don't get value. They're not really any like pure I am the bruiser you need to listen to, like bruisers left in NA. It's a lot of like you listen to me when it's my turn, and I listen to you when it's your turn. Like I have debt, I'm gonna go for my debt. I'm gonna support the other guy's gonna support you while you go for debt, and then you're gonna support him when he goes for debt.
Okay,
And it's like
look,
a
look,
kind of a ping pong.
bottom. Ground. Detonating two. I'm detonating two.
I'm okay.
Nice. Keep going.
Like this is really good, but you don't see a stun here, right? Like if there's a stun here, he just killed 4 people. But there's no stun. Like there's no secondary bruiser. There's no shower. There's no scream.
Left guy now?
Shocking.
Well, actually, there might have been a scream. Then the shower. It was just kind of like off where he was.
Julian no stomach.
This idea is good, and then he declumps afterwards is also good. So yeah, this is perfect.
Thank you.
Like the execution wasn't perfect, but that was the right idea.
Nice. Keep going. Nice. We're doing good.
Guys on the left side, you need to step. Guys left. Why do I say
Look left side here. Top left.
there's not that much
Henna.
action on point right now? Step and dog,
And this is exactly when you want to do it too. Like the dogging works really well when you have pressure on our healers and you have pressure on our healers.
Look at GG Penn left side of point. Step and dog, and go this shop. Step. Nice kill.
I'm grabbing it.
I'm stunned.
Okay.
I'm looking.
Keep this up. You keep this up.
Shocking top left on Ellie. Yeah. Just play left a bit here, guys. Play left a bit. Wait a bit. Now look. Top left. Mika. Knocking him down.
Respawns in 3,
Mika, right side.
1. Look right side of point to do it.
Detonating this. Need as much healing you have here.
They still have the respawn color in the background. The reason why NA doesn't use a respawn color is every time you cap a point, the respawn ticks right away, so it resets back to like the max value of that time period, which inherently makes the respawn bot off every time you use a respawn bot. It depends by when you cap it how much it's off. It could be off by like 10 to 20 seconds. That's the reason why it's not really used.
Oh, I'm dead.
Was it
I
on
couldn't
here?
cast.
Okay.
It's 35 seconds, and it called like a few seconds ago. So yeah, that bot is off by around 10 seconds,
Okay, no problem. You know?
which is a really big deal.
Oh, I'm dead.
Like I think at this
I
point it's
couldn't
like
cast.
what a 40, 45
okay.
second
Maybe
spawn.
you're-
If it was a 40 second spawn, that bot was on. But I think it was
Respawn 30,
45.
just
So I
happened,
think that
guys.
bot was off by 5 to 10.
It's not bad.
seconds.
We're actually taking point up.
Yo, keep making calls.
But like they definitely have the pressure here, and he's calling for making quads. It's just the dog, dude. Like you don't necessarily have to make a quad. You just need to be stacked on your SNS.
Come back.
Doing very good.
Like
Still taking the point
you
up.
need to be
They're
stacked on
matching back
SNS.
with, like,
SNS
Look bottom
needs to be
point,
stacked
bottom
on
point,
you. That
look,
trust
guys,
needs
guys.
to be
Win,
there.
man. They're trolling.
Step point. I want you to look.
So
for the
Elijah
step.
is the other
Look at strong
SNS.
step. Look at insane. What
This guy's also like not near the clump though. He's like shielding here, and there's a clump fight here, and then he's running away. Like why is he not shielding here?
is happening, bro? Step
Like what? He just let. Oh, Bop is there. Never mind. That makes more sense.
We
Yeah, then he should be like that. If Bop was there, I didn't see Bop is out of frame.
Come on now. Hold your big cities. We're gonna look for.
Wait, Bop is on IG? Why is Bop on IG and he's playing like super passive? You should be super aggro, beating like every single big clump.
3, right side of point in 2.
Luke on top right, on hard comeback.
Like if you're on IG, it's like almost impossible to die. I have like 2 to 3 deaths per war for the last 2 to 3 months, and I've made IG and I've been dogged by 10 to 15 people times.
We can get something huge back left here. We can get something.
What's up, JDB?
I need to
I see
move.
you, Dave. Just keep
If you guys joined and you hadn't seen this before, this is Para versus Mango. So like a
No,
pretty
just
recent
keep running, keep running.
this is 2 days ago.
Okay.
Para, I believe, has Everfall still.
It's a
Yeah, I'm playing.
Mango, it has basically everything else.
I just have a Rican Insane going for me.
Yeah, I see.
This is a regroup for sure. This is a regroup for sure.
Okay, we're regrouping, guys. Get out.
Yeah.
Go B.
Yeah, that was a regroup angle. You lost like everywhere, but and it's frustrating. You've had to do like 3 to 4 regroups.
Yeah, you have my sacred. Try to survive.
Like fucking go kill the healers if you want to win.
Like there's like kind of like a set order in order to wipe a point. You need to have like backline pressure, and then you need to be like dogging on point, and then when you're dogging, you need to have shower plus scream. Like this is basics, but it's literally just this. And then 3, you need to have like SNS there, and then 4, you need to declump after. And the declump part is usually the hard part, because usually people ignore the IGVGs around the clump and they'll make a triangle like after you go for a det push. So, but that's like
I have
horrible
nothing.
handwriting, but that's like
Second,
what
you
needs to
know?
be happening, and I'm seeing like 2 of those steps happen, but it needs to be
Some
4
people
steps
die
to
now.
wipe the point. And you can't really cheat on the
Yeah, my-
steps either. Like, if you don't have one of those things, the point isn't guaranteed to wipe. I haven't heard an SNS IGL once either. Like from, I don't know how other SNSs do it, but I always like call where I'm standing as like a default, and then where I'm pushing to, so people know where the SNS is, so people can
Careful
stack on
on
top
their
of
bows
it at times,
initially
and
on the
other
bottom.
times I'll listen to the
When our
playlists
bows push their
and
bows out,
play on
then you
top of
can
where
go
they're
play
going.
more bottom.
I don't hear like that communication aspect at all. That being said, I'm like, kind of a firm believer of comms don't matter in like any game. You could be able to like read body language and you're fine. But I also don't see people like reading body language of people in the war.
I'm coming back a bit.
Like some of the best players in the world for games don't talk at all, and there's a reason why. They could read body language.
Is that correct?
Which sounds weird, but you could see where other people are looking, and people typically tunnel vision in games, so it's like kind of easy to tell where they go.
Pre-pot, pop cancel, get active. I have all of them focusing me on bonfire, like 17 of them. We should be fine.
This is better.
Okay, take face. Don't die here. Right. They're all
Okay,
down
I was
here.
gonna say if he
Don't
doesn't
die,
go for
guys.
healers or something's kind of
Sacred
wrong.
still top right.
EU healers
Yo,
don't
take space,
really die
guys.
because
Move
they
past
SP
face.
each other. It's like
Yo,
kind
top
of
right,
understand
top right.
not wanting to go for
No,
them,
no,
but at
no.
the same time, someone needs to go for them.
Respawn in 20, respawn in 20.
Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough.
You like all in with your
I'm trying to get
combo,
out.
but there's no one that you can
Yeah,
kill here.
Fucking get space first, no one
Like that's just kind of padding.
I'm gonna play.
Okay.
Take space, take space.
But if you have like refreshing wave, you'll get your stuff diving really fast. I don't think it's like
No, it's
that big
fine.
of a deal, but there wasn't,
loop on
like,
right, loop
I
on
didn't
right,
see a
guys.
spot that could die there. Like there's a spot that could die here, but you don't have half your cooldowns. Like say you didn't use your grab there and you went like all well, I think you had to use your grab, but say you didn't like use Maelstrom or something like that, like maybe you have your other cooldowns, you go for this clump. Like I don't know. That's like min-maxing, but saving cooldowns
dead
at
in
times
this.
is good. I think saving cooldowns when you can't get a wipe is good. Like what? This is a pad. This is just straight pad. You don't have the resources around you. Like I don't have it back on the screen, but there's like that 4-step process that you kind of need to get a clump wipe. You were like step 1 here. Like if you don't have all these, you're not gonna get a clump fight, and that's the spot where you probably need to save detonate. Even though it's 6 people in a clump, like you're not gonna get.
Grabbing top right. Top. On Ellie.
Like, we're not on like the VG Oblivion equals hard nuke meta. So you had your detonate here, right? If you had your detonate there, that clump might have died.
It's not bad. We're doing good, by the way.
I won't be able to play on bonfire anymore.
Yeah, we're doing good, by the way, guys.
I'd say the
Keep it-
detonate
keep my
usage
own
is
point.
generally poor, but the
Take it right.
who you're going for in fights is generally pretty good.
It's doing. We're doing okay.
I'm still like more of a go healer and then go back
Look
to
top right. I'm grabbing.
We're doing good if you have
person kind of guy, but like this is from
Okay,
a point
okay.
perspective. I understand just wanting to go point.
Getting dogged a little bit.
I have my sacred.
Got
And I have
Fruby and
aggro.
Dog in here too. Got the whole
Yeah. Okay, we're a little bad number, guys. Okay, maybe a reset angle.
We need to not fight top left.
They died again. Why did they die this time?
Okay.
They get wiped there. There's no
Okay, fine,
SNS. They don't have rate control at all. They have more people on
Can you
points,
dog
and
a
they're
little
inherently just gonna dog you.
I have my secret. And I have aggro.
Yeah. Okay, we'll look.
Like, I almost want to say it's not that you guys are getting diffed. It's just like a fundamentals issue. Like you're just the New World fundamentals are bad.
Bad number, guys.
Like you just need to
Okay, maybe a reset
work
angle.
together, and then like all this
We
gets
need to not
solved.
fight top left.
Which sounds like very very 5-head, but like I think it's literally as simple as
it's a
you
reset
go
angle,
in,
sure.
other people go in with you, and you it's like when it's your turn to go and you
Catch
have
our
your stuff,
hard
then
runs.
your bruiser needs to support you. When you have your other bruiser has their cooldowns, and then you don't
Can we
have
try
yours,
something
you need to
else? I
support
feel like
your other
they're
bruiser.
just winning the fight
Can you
for
again?
control. I wanna
Okay,
send it
I have an
to
idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
You play to go from top left. Group A, go from top left.
Yeah, but then we're gonna fucking get raped.
Is that
Nah, we
Ace
just need to stop collapsing
numb?
when we don't even
Or-
have space.
Yes,
Just
I
play
think
for
it's-
space.
Exactly.
It
Stop
sounded
fucking
like someone I've
playing
heard
for crumbs
before.
when we walk in, when literally no one's around you to follow up.
I think they got.
When we walk in, if you grab
Wait,
a
let me
group,
go
that's
back to the voice. You guys might actually know who this is. Someone in the comment
We
might
don't
know.
even have space.
Yes,
Just play for space.
Exactly. Stop fucking playing for crumbs.
Yeah, it's a reset angle for sure.
It's completely
I'm trying to find it.
Catch our hard runs.
Can we try something
Yeah,
else? I feel
can
like
you-
they're just winning the fight
you
for
again?
control. I wanna
Okay,
send it
I have an idea. Okay.
Right there. That sounds like Ollie. Why is Prim on light fire staff in his group? Is that why stuff isn't dying? They don't have an IGVG?
No.
You play to go from top left. Group A, go from top left.
Yeah, but then we're gonna fucking
I
get
don't
raped.
know voices well
Nah, we
enough
just
that
need to
I
stop
uploaded that
collapsing
voice
when we don't
before.
even have
It's an
space.
NA
Just play for
player.
space.
Exactly. Stop fucking playing for crumbs when we walk in.
It might just be Ollie. That'd be really funny if Ollie played for EU when he
we
quit
walk
for
in,
NA.
If you grab aggro, dance around with it until everyone's in position, and I start calling point wipes. Okay, I don't want to see people fucking throwing Ronaldo grabs when we just
Yeah.
walked in, and I've just fucking popped my two to survive. Okay.
Which actually, I don't think
Space.
Ollie. I
Take
think
the draw aggro
Ollie's
a
either
little bit, then we walk
Canadian
together,
or
then we
from
fucking look to
somewhere
right
else.
Oh,
Take
then
on
how
one
come
fire
back,
zone.
Kevin?
More east, so maybe
Hard.
Going towards
it's
the
just
gas.
similar accent.
Start walking in, start walking
Okay,
in.
let's slowly move
Start
in
walking
here.
now.
I'm pushing
Now
above
we're
bonfire, okay?
starting- now we're starting to walk in.
That is Ollie.
Take space, boys. Take
If
fucking
that's
space,
Ollie,
take
that
fucking-
wait, that means Ollie quit our company. Is playing for. This was 2 days ago. Why is Ollie not playing for us?
That's it. Good shit. Dance around with the aggro. Dance around with the aggro.
I'm
Take
upset.
space. Don't fucking make comes. Don't commit to comes. I'm
Take
sorry,
the
I'm
top
gonna
center
fucking
point.
That's
and
good, just-
I'm moving
We have good space here, guys. We can look for slow collapse here. Get for slow collapse here.
Now start filling up their backline and go for the heal. Just go for the heal.
Also, why isn't
Okay, I'm
Ollie
playing
talking
bottom
though?
left.
Like Ollie
Yeah,
talks a
I'm
lot.
playing on left side for now, chilling.
Don't commit to comes.
Yeah,
Wait a
yeah.
bit, guys.
Kill it. Go fucking kill healers. That's it. I see you guys.
Look bottom right, look bottom right! Look bottom right! Grab me now!
Take it early.
Classic example of your SNS is over here for some stupid reason when a clump is here. Literally makes no sense.
And this is
Your SNS is like holding your hand until the clump fight happens and then just abandons you. It's like actually comical.
Look, Ape still! Guys, right side!
Like you got one here, but like this is a big enough clump fight where I swear you just put an SNS on this side, you put an SNS on this side, and you just need one of them to hold shield at this.
Nice!
Right side, commit to it.
Ape's dead here, guys!
That's it, boys. That's it. That's what you want.
Respawn right now. Respawn right now.
Dog
Take
the
it
fucking
early.
players
Come on,
on point.
Dilling,
Dog
bottom
the
point.
players
I'm
on
dogging the bottom point, okay? Berglin.
Go back one more time to the voice.
Hard runs.
Can we try something
Yeah,
else? I feel
can
like
you-
they're just winning the fight
you
for
again?
control. I wanna
Okay,
send it
I have an idea.
point.
Okay.
No.
You play to go from top left. Group A, go from top left.
That is 100% Ollie. There is no way that is not Ollie.
Yeah, but then we're gonna fucking get. Look for wipes together.
Hold
Take
on,
on
hard.
one.
We have good space here. Look right side together here, guys, in a second.
John's dead.
Look right side, go. Mika.
But Respawn's coming in mid road.
Keep on Mika. Keep on Mika.
We can get this point here.
Keep on Mika. No stam. Shocking him. Nice!
That's
Dilling.
that is what dogging is.
Dog Dilling a bit here.
The thing about dogging too is you can't just like say stack me. Like often for dogging you have to select a target. Like Jesiz plays other games, so you should know this. But like if you think about it from like a Overwatch perspective, I know Jesiz came from League. I don't know the League perspective, but from an Overwatch perspective, there's two ways to call like a dive on a target. You can call an area or you can call a name. If you call a name, people naturally go to that area. So both kind of ways work. Sometimes it's easier to call a name than it is to call an area.
Knocked.
Respawns in 30.
So here it's like just dog or
Dilling's dead
SS
here.
or
You're
yeah,
above it?
it's
And then-
literally you just call names and
Yeah.
that's how you
Right
dog.
side, they're wrapping right side.
They're wrapping right side. Can we stop the wraps? Can we
Do I
stop
lead
Person's
healing?
at
Yeah,
top.
thank you.
Top
Look bottom,
left,
look bottom, look bottom,
right?
look bottom. Quick, 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 quick,
Okay,
quick.
so top
Nice.
left, top there.
Alicana bottom point.
Initial
Right side, right
thing.
side. Nice. Look left side as well, guys. And top right. Going, Joe. Nice. Right side. Thor, bottom point.
If you lose
No,
this,
no into
something's
him.
wrong.
Thor,
I'm on the top.
This
right
is what
side, dead.
dogging
Nice.
is.
Circling right side. Knocked him down, shocking him.
I don't know. There's a difference between saying it and doing it. This is what dogging is, and the only difference that
Yo,
you
take point
made
here, guys. Take
to
point.
switching this up is you start calling targets instead of calling areas.
Let's fucking go!
Like, you just gotta call
Look
target.
at insane.
And then also, they went for backline earlier, right? That was all he called. Like, they go from here, and then they come to here. Like, that's just generally more effective, in my opinion. Because you take the space that they want to hold, and then they have to react to you, and then generally, when you react, you end up doing worse than being proactive in most circumstances. There are spots where you could be proactive by being reactive, but that's like a concept that I don't think it applies to this game, really, because people aren't good enough.
Zerk the skates.
Like, that would be like a baiting people
push
into
it
a
again, guys.
spot and then crashing back on them. That's being proactive by being reactive. Like, you
Fuck the
bait them,
horns,
they
guys.
use
Source.
cooldowns, and then you go.
Here's what we're gonna do.
It definitely exists, but like it is very rare to see it. Like I see
Nah,
like, maybe
I
once
think
every
this helps
3 or
you
4
first.
wars.
You're gonna
Grabbing
take
them?
down Sigurd and walk
Nice.
to Sigurd and go in, okay? On the thing. Legit.
Nothing
You're gonna
really
walk
else.
to Sigurd and go in.
He wants to
Seriously,
go
they
in.
drop
Oh,
here.
that's very
They do
crazy.
kind of drop
Okay.
here.
Walk to Sigurd
Okay.
and go in.
I'm cleansing, getting active. Let's go.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of get this, but if you don't win here,
I
you're
got
also
stun.
Yeah.
Take it on you.
Legit walk to Sigurd and go in.
Trying to kill you. You are out of.
Yeah, no problem.
the problem here is pretty simple. It's the same reason why Supple lost the
Crazy.
dropouts.
Okay.
Walk to Sigurd
Okay.
and go in.
I'm cleansing,
I'm
getting
just
active.
gonna
Let's
wait
go.
a second.
No.
So from a healer perspective, right here, you have healers that are contested. This is their lane that you can get a heal from. Like realistically, that's it. So you have to like run down this lane if you want to get a heal. If you go off to the side, you can, but you kind of have to kite back to a healer LS if you expect to get heal. Other thing too is you're going into this with, well, actually most of this is pre-pot. You have health, you have regen. So you should be in a good spot if your healer is able to heal you, but you just have to stay in this lane for as long as possible before you go off to the side.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
like you're out of a healer OS already. Like this is out of healer OS. You're out of the sacred too. The sacred's to your right. You're still out of your sacred, still out of your sacred. You kite back to the healer LOS, but now you're not in the sacred. So basically you're off like where you need to be standing by like 4 feet that entire time, and that's what gets you killed.
Take it on you.
Legit walk to Sigurd.
And then your healer calls that they're sacred on you. She didn't say the name, but if you pop your pod in there, you're also fine.
And go in.
So there's like 5 different ways there to
Yeah, no
not
problem.
die.
Some people have to
and
die.
You kind of missed all of them, to be honest. And you
Big
caught them.
respawn. Just happened.
And this, I'm trying to listen for a respawn caller now. I'm guessing respawn caller is off.
Legit walk to Sigurd and go in.
Trying to kill you. You are out of.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Some people have to die.
I think it just said respawns in 5 for the respawn caller, and then respawns just go off. So that's another spot where why respawn callers are kind of needed and why you can't use bots. Like I almost feel like using bots is worse than not using bots because it like you think that you're safe but you're not safe.
Big respawn. Just happened.
Like it said respawn now, and it's like 52-53. So that respawn caller is off by 7 seconds. That is a very, very big difference between having a 51st man and a respawn caller that could very easily lose you a war.
Okay, take that fight on the right side. Take that fight.
Like I
on the right
guarantee Jesiz goes for this play because he thinks that he can get back here in time. He misses the respawn caller, and that can cost him a war.
side. We're
Can
winning.
you again?
Guys, legit just try and come through the gate.
He unfortunately died in the worst spot possible to actually see what's going on, so I'm just gonna skip through that. Have you guys ever seen someone win in fort without taking B? I'm just kind of curious, but I've never seen it before. But at least they got in the fort.
Oh,
That's
it's
like
looking
still a
very
big
rough.
accomplishment.
What's the war timer right now?
I respond.
It's 1 minute.
Like,
1:30.
given how I was seeing you guys play on B and C, I would not expect you to get in the fort. If I'm gonna be real. And it's just the dogging thing, and your SNS is... I wouldn't say they're not real, but they're definitely like half a slot of an NA SNS, and so you have 2, which I guess makes it like a full slot, but you're still wasting like basically a player. And I'm saying they're not real because they're not shielding the actual clumps.
Yeah.
How is this? Ah.
Just watch the Zerg again.
You can put grab on the door.
This spot is so much better. The other thing too is if you get in a spot like this, you're in healer LOS, you call for sacred, you get a sacred on you, and then your army dives you in this spot, you're just inherently going to get value because you have like a safe spot to regroup at before you kind of go out from here. And like starting here and then spreading out is so much worse than starting here and then spreading out. So like that kind of like diving onto a sacred and then playing in there and then like branching out from that, I
Coming
think
up.
it's just like a better play here.
Holy shit!
But this is lost at this point. You can't win a war in 30 seconds, so it's just a
May
pad
need some
fest.
heals there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
You guys want to know the funny part about this one too? So they have 10 people here, right? You expect Blue to win this, but then you look at Bop, and then you see he's on the IG, on the primary, so the offhand. Same problem with Bop. It's been the same problem with Bop for about a month and a half. He hasn't changed anything.
Okay.
But yeah, no, like your SNSs are like a really, really, really big problem.
Can I say, bro?
15 seconds.
I think IG is good as an SNS because it allows you to play more aggro in clumps. You don't have to worry about your life, but like that, oh man. Like in NA, like you like the joke is like you're pulling in apples, like you're AFK and you're just running around not doing anything, and that's kind of what Bop is doing. Like you do well on like scoreboard, like you're hitting your buttons like all the time, so it kind of makes sense. But like at the same time, like you're not really seeing like the frag aspect, right? Like if you were saving detonates, like your damage probably goes down, your scoreboard probably goes down, but this probably goes up, and then this probably goes up. So I feel like it's the comboing detonate thing. Which, if I were to like type it up here, like it's the like the number one thing would definitely be like the process you need to like kill people. Like you need cooldowns, and then you have to collapse on a target and like dog them. You need IGVG stuff like the shower especially, but the scream is also like useful, and Oblivion's useful to bug SNS. Honestly, the scream is less useful from the IGVG now. If you have this, you can win a fight, but the scream's like a bonus. The other thing too is you could, if you use Oblivion first and then use Scream, it staggers the SNS and that gets rid of the Oblivion bug, which makes it so that their SNS aura remains again. There's a weird circumstance with IGVG where there's a certain timing where it's actually better to Scream than Oblivion, which is the only time it's actually better. At least throughout the weekend Bop. For like need a real SNS, to be honest. There's not really another way to word that, but yeah. But like when if you have all those 4 people, that's when you dog people, and that's where you win. But if you don't have those 4 conditions, like people won't die. And it's just communicating between people and using those conditions. It's not a mechanic meta, it's a game sense meta. Like you could have like a worse company and they definitely can win right now if they just use stuff on top of each other. That's the main thing I'm seeing from like Para as a whole from a point team. The other thing is like you guys are playing like back to front when I think you should be playing like front to back, if that makes sense. Basically you're playing reactive instead of proactive. And if you play proactive, it forces mistakes. And if you force mistakes, it's a lot easier to play the game than it is to try to be perfect. Like you definitely can play reactive, but it's just harder. So those are like the 2 big things I'd see, and then from you it's mostly the what do you call it, listening aspect, and then the holding debt for certain things, like, and kind of like listening. By listening I mean like reading body language especially. I'm not like I think comms help, but I don't think comms matter. If you're able to read body language, you shouldn't need to talk. So those are the big things I see. Anyone else see anything different or anything else that's like noteworthy I should leave in here and put you guys over here for a bit? And then not touch anything. But pretty sure everything is in here. It's mostly just Lund God and Impunity talking. There's one point where I couldn't find Bop, and because I thought he was dead, turned out he was effectively dead because he was in Narnia, and I'm pretty sure that's the main thing. It's rough too, because I feel like your other SNS is trying to play off of Bop and play in a spot where Bop isn't, but Bop inherently isn't doing his job in his spot, so your other SNS needs to play stacked on top of Bop, because Bop isn't, like, doing his job, if that makes sense. Like, he has to overcompensate, and that's just bad.
They were just gonna hold down the pairs on
GG's.
the and we're gonna get stage.
There's definitely good players slotted. Like Prim is good, Ollie's good. You have a light fire staff and point group, I think is what someone was saying with Prim. Well, yeah, wait. Are you sure Prim is light fire staff? Impunity? If Prim is light fire staff, there's no way he goes. Oh shoot, I'm moving everything. If Perm is late fire staff, there's no way he goes 4 and 11, right? He did have top damage though. He actually might be late fire staff. How do you go 4 and 11 with fire staff? Really?